contributions, whereas private individuals, if they give charitable money to assist others, it's because of a true sense of caring and concern that it's well spent, which is not the way politicians often spend your money.
But Dr. Ebeling, the electorate would regard a government as being irresponsible if it didn't take steps during times of when there's mass layoff.
Irresponsible and callous.
I think that it is irresponsible for government to take other people's money and to throw it away when it could be used productively from those who have honestly earned it. That's what I consider to be callous and disregarding of any sense of social justice. Where would any of those people be in terms of their jobs if the private sector had not been investing it and wisely establishing it? I hark back to this, Mr. Jones. You're the hero of the Bahamian economy, not the politicians who tax you and squander the wealth that you've created. You're the one who creates jobs. You're the one who, out of your profits, if you chose to be charitable, could wisely give it to some charitable effort. And since it's your dollars that you're giving voluntarily, I assure you, you'd be more concerned to see that it was helping the people who you felt really needed a helping hand than a bureaucrat who's spending other people's money, and it doesn't matter if it's spent wisely or not.
There is an unemployment benefit in this country as well. And you have the same in the United States of America.
Yes.
When people are unemployed, a caring government should come to their rescue. A caring government should not want people to be homeless, without electricity, or without food. And that is what governments are supposed to do.
No, so governments are supposed to protect us in our individual rights, Mr. Jones. Governments are supposed to see that no one violates our life, our liberty, and our honestly acquired property. The kind of honestly acquired property that you have accumulated through hard and creative work. It is wrong for someone to plunder you and to take the wealth that you've created through your mind and your effort, and to say, we will now decide how it's spent and for what purpose. That is an uncaring, callous, and stealing government. Real morality comes through the free acts of free choosing individuals, not through the point of a gun. Try not to pay your taxes, Mr. Jones. See what the government does to you. Is that a caring government that puts a gun to your head?
But Dr. Ebeling, you know, the Bahamas is a developing country, with a very, very narrow economy. You know, some people call it a two-pillar economy. And the economy hasn't been able to insulate itself against eventualities like the global meltdown. And what I call residual societies like this supposed to do in the face of this massive disruption of world trade?
See, I don't consider you a residual society, because then what you're basically saying is that the people who live here are residual individuals. No. Everyone in the Bahamas is a unique and distinct individual with a mind, an ability to imagine and hope and dream and create. Just think of Hong Kong, halfway around the world. They too were a British colony. No resources, no raw materials, a rock off the coast of China. And through allowing them to have a free and open economy, they have blossomed in prosperity as well as creativity, even under their Chinese masters now. You have the potential to do that. Have faith in your own people.
I agree with you 100%, but we have a culture here, a development culture, that is based on the foreign investor. That is our development culture. Well, we're sitting, waiting for the foreign investor to develop its economy.
But the basis of our economy, Dr. Ebeling, is tourism expenditure. The expenditure of tourists in the Bahamas. More than 85% of our tourist dollars, they come in from the United States of America. We have created a tourism-based economy, all right? And since we have done that, in bad times, a caring government would create alternatives for the people who elected them, because they elect a government to provide opportunities for them.
No, you don't elect a government to provide opportunities. Government has no opportunities to provide. Opportunities are provided from individuals who apply their creative minds. That means you. That means you. That means every Bahamian on these islands. Each one of them, in principle, conceptually, has the ability to have an idea, to imagine something that could be a way to earn a living, start a business, do something different. Why straitjacket the society in the narrow confines of what a handful of politicians and bureaucrats can imagine?
Let me cut
when
you
they
off right
made
here.
very
In the 80s, I think it was, the Pindling administration bought hotels on West Bay Street because the employers there, the owners there, thought that they should leave the Bahamas. All right? If the Pindling government had not done that, then that portion of our tourism product would have fallen away. Thousands of jobs, thousands of people would have been out of jobs. But when the Pindling government bought those hotels, the hotels remained open and saved the jobs of those thousands of people who had to pay school fees and house rent and mortgages and car notes and all the rest of it. And you have a difficulty with that, Dr. Ebeling?
Yes, because, Mr. Jones, where did the government get the dollars to buy those hotels? Where did they get those dollars?
The dollars were borrowed.
Borrowed from whom?
From banks.
Exactly. And where did the banks get those dollars? From savers, from people who had deposited their money with the banks.
Yes.
And so now the government took those dollars and spent it instead of other Bahamians having a chance to borrow their dollars. How do you know that those are the right hotels? How do you know that someone might have not taken some of those dollars instead of the government borrowing it and had the financial means to come up with a creative, innovative idea and to implement it that would have enabled a diversification of the Bahamian economy?
But isn't it incumbent on the government to stimulate the economy?
No, it is, it's
the
not.
The government has a duty to create an environment for businesses to thrive. Because if those hotels remained closed, then the employees would not be buying food from the food stores, and then the food store operators wouldn't advertise with me. And so I wanted the food store operator to make money, and the only way he would make money is if the hotel employee is buying food from the food operator.
See, what you're focusing on is what you see. What you fail to also appreciate is what is unseen. And that is the jobs that would have been created, the employments that might have emerged, if those dollars had not been borrowed by the Bahamian government to buy up the existing hotels, but had been free for other individuals to do creative things with. You're not, and those businessmen would have then bought some of your advertising time, and you would still earned income.
But our economy is based on tourism and banking.
Okay.
And we had businessmen in the Bahamas who were not prepared to buy those hotels. As a matter of fact, Jamaicans came in and bought 2 hotels that were placed on the market.
So what's the problem with that?
No.
Well, first of all, I understand you have a rule here that I was told about, that if a foreigner wants to invest in the Bahamas, 50% of the ownership has to be in Bahamian hands. Why?
No, that's not right.
So I could come in and have 100% ownership of a business?
Yeah.
Yes.
Without any Bahamian participation in ownership?
So
Well, that's good. But the point is that you should be opening your door to foreign investors. Why did only 2 Jamaican companies show an interest? What prevented other companies from showing an interest? And why aren't you making your country more attractive to foreign investment?
Our country was attractive to foreign investors before you Americans messed the world economy up. Before Lehman Brothers went south, before all of those other financial institutions went south, bad policies by the American government and your inability to regulate the financial market in the United States